Please make some noise. Tap your feet. Make some noise. Come on, like Madison Square Garden. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing from WUSB, Mr. Bill Capone.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for B for Boast.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Roger J. Owens.
Gentlemen, please brace for history, and will you please welcome the return of the cat!
The cat is a furry-ass little creature who plays guitar and has incredible poetry.
The cat is like a drop of rain in the desert. The cat is a loving, gentle soul who's concerned with the human race.
Well, I had to say that he was different than anyone I've met. I like his top hat, I like his cape.
200 feet back, Jack. Or you go up in smoke. And that's no joke. And that's no joke. And that's no joke.
I left because there was a pending snowstorm. He came in March the 1st. You know, wind blows like March. Well, he came into this world howling. And I left the hospital real early to get home before the blizzard hit. And it hit bad. And a beautiful child. Beautiful blonde hair, blue eyes, and everybody remarked he was gorgeous. And that is the truth. They used to stop me and say he was so beautiful.
I was born the same week in the same hospital as the cat in Brooklyn.
His mother was just taking him home while my mother was going in to have me. So that was ironic that both of us would be born in the same hospital and go through so much during our lives together.
And after that, he went through normal childhood, but an exceptionally bright, exceptionally fast. He walked at 7 months. He was running at 9 months. Could eat. Oh, could he eat? He was a good eater. He was great through school, never a problem. Always went to school, never played the hook. Never got in any trouble. He was one good kid.
Oh, I met the cat when we were kids growing up. We were all hanging out in the schoolyard together. We'd all play softball, football, stickball together. Normal kids growing up in the city.
The cat is a very decent kid. I've known him a long time. I've got to know him pretty well the last 10, 12 years. And he always stood out from that crowd of kids because he was, as it turned out, he was creative. And he didn't quite fit in with these guys, and they didn't appreciate him. But he slowly, but definitely, surely, showed his creativity. And he did it in lots of ways. Painting, sculpture, poetry, music, different instruments, writing, acting. I think the kid is terrific.
Oh, my husband was always playing music, records, on Sundays. And I used to play all types. Oh, kidding me, Jim Nabors, Elvis Presley.
The cat never really listened to the same music that we all listened to. He was listening to 50s music, Elvis, Buddy Holly, Eddie Cochran.
I guess the cat has that experience, we all do, that somehow we all know the songs from the decade right before we were born.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, running all time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, running all time. You ain't never gonna run and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, they said it's too high class, that was just a lie. It's just high class, that was just a lie. Well, you never gonna run and you ain't no friend of mine.
Whole winters he would stay in his house, in his little room that he made into a studio, a black and white, he painted it, a checkerboard studio, and he was painting. He was some bizarre paintings, dead trees with a bright red background, blood dripping, an illusion of blood dripping down. He was painting all crazy paintings. He was very interesting painting. I know he sold one or two, I remember. But he would be just as happy giving his paintings away. He really wasn't out for the money. He never was.
You ain't no friend of mine.
When I first met the cat, he was reading a Ginsberg. I think I walked into his apartment and he didn't even notice we were there. He was so engrossed in Ginsberg. And I never think of him as a political poet. I think of him as just an art act.
I think he thought of himself as a poet, although he's a great and prolific, inexhaustible, vast songwriter. And as a singer, he's certainly one of the greatest blues voices in the Western world since 1900, when Ma Rainey began singing in tent shows. The reason for that is he's got the great breath, the huge wind, great inspiration, breath, inspiration, exhalation. So he has this fantastic, exhilarating inspiration as a physical component of the walloping out a grand blues chorus. So he's a great singer, certainly a great songwriter, and amazingly prolific. You know. The more you listen, the more you realize the depth and the richness of his body of work.
The Cat's very creative in many mediums, but primarily he writes poetry. I mean, he does other things, and he's influenced by other things. But basically, he's a poet. He's a wordsmith. He listens to the sounds of the city, listens to the different voices, he listens to the colors, he listens to the shapes, and this affects his writing.
I don't think hardened beat writers are ready for cat poetry. I feel cat poetry transcends bad language. The Cat transcends most mainstream hack writing.
The Cat's poetry it's just something that the whole family can enjoy, and I think there's so little of that around today.
He's wide awake when the city is starting to wake up, and I've seen that somehow represented in his writing. He's very objective of society, and some of his writings kind of show that he's angry, but actually he's sympathetic to what he sees.
The passing of a stray critter, stopping to watch the play of the shadows in the breeze, 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 shadows in the breeze.
Because of his incredible knowledge of past writings, none of his work is symbolic of anything other than someone who is writing, taking a piece of paper and letting their pen go with them. Cat is more like a channel for like a lower like being.
One of the autobiographical elements in his poetry is of 10 little orphan lines when he talks
Clock
about
Days, another great Cat poem.
Well, that's everything. That's where it all began, that's where it all ends, that's where it's going, that's where it's gone. That's where it's gonna be. Because the words he uses, songs like Steel Jungle, Gucci.
He's just a very sentimental person, but he manages to really crystallize those sentiments in his poetry.
Dreams will always be just a vision, unless you etch it into any solid form of any positive shape. My dreams I saw Elvis walk through Graceland. My dreams I saw Kennedy drive by waving me. My dreams I saw the movement hovering over Selden. A dreaming day of peace and racial harmony. I dream, clap your hands, of no more red lines, hard times, junk times. Then again, I'm only dreaming right now. Dreaming's alright by me. 'Cause dreaming I'd set you free.
guess when I first heard about the Cat, and I read some of his words, and I said, these things, they're more than poems. I felt that they should have been put to music. Definitely knew he was a genius.
Alien Dreamer. He was a musician, songwriter. He was he had several bands he would perform. And I brought the Cat out there. I thought it'd be a good idea for them to meet.
He is his words are him. And I got together with a few people, and we doodled around with a little bit of music. And we thought, what kind of feel did we want for the song?
The Cat had recorded a couple of songs that he wrote, and he would also recite poetry on a tape recorder. I remember I got a hold of a couple of those tapes, and I brought them out to Alien Dreamer. And he loved it right away. He ran into his studio, and he produced music around this great vocal track that the Cat had thrown down. And the music that came out, it transformed these poems into a whole new world.
Exactly what we did before. Ready? Go with it. Fine.
Misfortune soldier with emptiness in his hands. What's a member of the Colonel's Ragtime Band?
The first time I met Cat, he was doing the poem "The Street Soldier" in Mike's, Space Cathedral Studios, and even like people who were like just on the street stopped for a minute. It was like "Let It Be." There was this like bellowing coming from Mike's studio.
Well, when you would get those two in a room or in a studio, you can just feel the creative energy in that room. There was so much, they generated so much creative power between the two of them. Something had to be done.
Well, after we got together and worked on the music to his poems, we rehearsed a little bit, and the reaction from the people that were just around watching us was phenomenal. So we took it to the Manhattan. We played one of those old places, the Villa, I think it was the Speakeasy.
I'll never forget the first time I saw him perform live. It wasn't an easy thing for him to do, because he, until then, he always kept his creativity to himself, more or less. And this was the first time he had to demonstrate it to an audience of people he didn't know.
It was pretty amazing. He really opened up like I never saw him before.
Number 6, huh?
Yeah. He was unbelievable.
And then the Cat came on, and he stopped the show. He stopped the show. Literally, they had to take a break after.
I am the Cat. You can wear Gucci, or you can wear glad. When you meet your maker, your band. You can drive your fancy car. I'll ride my scooter. You won't get there any sooner, because all roads lead to the same gate. All roads lead to that same gate.
Just being up there with him, I let loose. We did things that we didn't plan on doing. I was improvising. I really cut loose. And the cat, he was doing these primal screams like I never heard before in my life. The place, everyone was going wild. They were banging on the table, screaming, clapping, and right then and there I knew something. So I knew a star was born that night.
You won't get there any sooner, because all roads lead to the same place.
And you could tell the audience was digging the words. Then they went into these two bricks. The Cat's epic poem at that time, never performed live.
He had these cards that he had written in different styles. Some of the words to his song, or his poem or whatever. And he kind of dropped them as time went on. And people loved them.
Right!
And he ended it with, in a tremendous way, where he screamed like crazy.
The curtain went up! Everything was there!
Screaming at the top of his lungs. The whole place was going nuts. They were going crazy. They have never seen anything like this before, and probably since. He is screaming at the top of his lungs. Alien Dreamer is going nuts on the guitar.
These two bricks! These two bricks! These two bricks! I can't recall it! But I can't live it again! I can't live it again.
This is an incredible moment here for WUSB, and we have the Cat live. And we're back alive, talking to the Cat on 90.1 FM. A couple of weeks ago, Cat, you played at the Speakeasy in New York City, which has since closed down. I think you closed down the Speakeasy, but the reviews of that show were all killed. Every one of them was a killer review. Your impressions of the Speakeasy stage, the Speakeasy performance?
It was bright and alive.
It was a great show, great positive reviews. The Voice had a review, and amongst others, it was tremendous. I've had the Cat 3 times. We've interviewed him twice, and the ratings that particular night skyrocketed through the roof. Unbelievable.
After we did the Speakeasy acoustically, I knew I had to introduce the band to the Cat, the band I was with, my band Alien Dreamer I had a couple of years back.
That's when I realized that the Cat can rock. When he's up there doing these two bricks, I think he's truly shining on his stage performance. He grabs that microphone stand and he shakes it a certain way. Can I demonstrate it? It's kind of like this, and he's up there and he's feeling it. He's feeling the moment. He's seizing the moment. It's Cat AD to me.
You can't have the Cat in as part of your evening's performance without having him be the one that everyone talks about the most.
The Cat just goes up there, and it's like the world is his. He holds every member of the audience in the palm of his paw. It is an amazing situation.
I remember after the Speakeasy gig, the Cat wanted to do a little tour. Not really to perform, but just to take in different parts of the country. So we went out west. We went to Minnesota, these small towns. And the Cat's dressed in his top hat, his black cape. Walking down New York City is one thing, but walking down Main Street in Hibbing, Minnesota is another. He stirred such a ruckus by just his appearance. People were following him around. He was forced to give a press conference out there about what he wanted, what he was doing.
That's why I came.
You say you're a poet?
Yes.
Has Dylan influenced the way you write at all?
Some of it. Not all of it, but some of it. Cat Murdo.
Okay. How do you spell the last name?
M-E-R-T-O.
Okay. And where are you from?
Brooklyn, New York.
Why?
They dragged me along.
What about, you've been here since when? When did you get here?
Friday.
Okay. What have you seen that has affected you the most?
This town. So many friendly people. Unbelievable. And the way they just go around doing things. Where I come from, they chain everything up. Around here, they just leave everything laying around. It's so amazing. And the people are so friendly. We're walking through the streets, people just come to us and shake our hand, and it was like, great. I come, like, gunpoint you and steal your money. So it's unbelievable.
To my gun. Cities under siege with homeless people dropping to their knees. Their cry is help us please. Hey, don't call me son, 'cause I'm sticking to my gun. Hey, Mr. Politician, man, scar in your hand. Give me back my share of land. Stick to your plan. Hey, don't call me son, 'cause I'm sticking to my gun. Rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6. Ain't no son of a bitch gonna put me in the ditch. Take him down, all gone.
When you're talking about the Cat, you're talking about someone who's staring directly into the mirror of society. The crime wave, there is such a burst of emotion in that particular song. It moves me. Crime wave. I'm sticking to my guns. Now I said to myself, Cat seems to be a peaceful man, or a peaceful cat. And then I said, he's sticking to his guns. At first it disturbed me because he is a Prince of Peace. But his guns are words, his guns are merriment, his guns are pages, his guns are books. Those are his guns.
6 making lawyers, making dollars for the senses, making martyrs out of criminals and victims to time losers. Hey, don't call me son, 'cause I'm sticking to my gun. We're all living in the crime wave.
Crime Wave song, there's a line where he says, "Don't call me son." And one time, I made the mistake of calling him son. And I assumed that he would get angry, but he said, "That's all right, Mama."
Crime Wave. Crime Wave. Crime Wave.
What I could say artistically and professionally is the city and the New York City Police Department love the Cat.
We actually took a trip to Woodstock, New York, but it wasn't Woodstock, it was Catstock. And we went, we actually rented a bus.
I got railing all on my mind. All in my mind. I got things on my mind. What are we getting? I can grab this. You got it now?
Catstock was like a retreat for creative people with the cat at the helm of the starship, if you will.
Just being at Catstock was a thrill.
I got me things on my mind. Make believe me, little baby. Well, you treat me so unkind. So take it, everybody, come on.
He really gave a great performance, actually, on the bus.
That's when you find the pure and unadulterated Cat, when he's playing the harp.
My little baby, well, she treats me so unkind. So unkind. She treats me so unkind. We're gonna this one down. I got Woodstock. Oh, I got Woodstock on my mind. I got Catstock. I got Catstock. I got Catstock on my mind. Every little bit, little baby, 'cause you treat me so unkind.
Catstock in many ways was the beginning of the use of the word stock being tagged on top of so many other things. The Cat gets ripped off, it seems, all the time.
Broken along this path.
The alphabet of trees is falling to the song of leaves, crossing the bar of the thin letter that spells winter, and the cold has been eliminated, with pointed green by the rain and sun. The strict set is principle.
And we ran into a bit of a problem. The conditions were bad. There really weren't any good places for the Cat to perform, and people getting agitated.
Love in the summer of the song itself, above the muffled words.
Well, when we went to Catstock, I actually don't remember the Cat performing anywhere. I was actually waiting for the big moment when I think I was looking forward to, you know, cape kind of unfurling in the wind and everything. For some reason, I think that it was built up to that moment and it fell away from that moment, but I don't remember that moment.
This Catstock Day, it was, I thoroughly enjoyed every aspect of it, although from what some people have said that it was heading towards a failure. There was a glitch in the agenda.
A very steep incline.
What's his name?
And apparently he fell down and he was carrying an acoustic guitar and he fell on the guitar and kind of used it as a sleigh to go down this hill. And I didn't see it, but I heard it. It was great. It was a sound he's been trying to reproduce on stage.
I might as well walk the rest of the way.
He took the Dreamer and they made their way into a cemetery just at dusk.
Concerto violins. The drifting ease of the weeping strings and the water dripping at the windows.
He recited a poem in a graveyard as the sun was going down about thunder and violins. He had this violin player backing him up. And it was terrific.
Our fortress of tranquility. Let the violins arise to meet the deafening thunder. And the rule of reality to all these to avoid. Listen.
And the Cat does his version of Thunder and Violins with the Dreamer on a nasty violin. It sounded like it was coming up from hell. It was a great moment, and that's what salvaged the whole Catstock thing.
Coming out of the rain, listen to the sound of the thunder and violin.
Well, people won't believe this, but people really won't believe this, but you know, like when Seattle became a thing, there had to have been one guy who started it. And when the Village became the place, so San Francisco, somebody had to start it. Well, right now, and maybe for the last 10 years, and certainly for the future, the Greenpoint Williamsburg area, Bedford Avenue, has been and will be the creative center in rock and roll, art, poetry. I swear it was the Cat. The Cat was the prime mover of this new Bohemia. He's the Kurt Cobain of Williamsburg.
Bohemia, Bohemia, Bohemia. He was a man of the people, a man with a voice that couldn't be stopped. He was an amazing media figure.
He went back to his roots. He went back to Brooklyn, New York. He felt that's where today's creativity, today's music, today's art will be coming from.
But that was back in the 80s when the new Bohemia was just getting in full swing. And he's always quite a mythic figure in my mind. Whenever I see him, he's jet setting all over the place as far as I know.
I think the Cat has a profound influence on any scene that he goes to, and any scene that he passes through.
Cheers, hi everybody, welcome to the Living Tale. I'm Terry, and this is John Francois. We have some surprise guests, but to open the night, please welcome Alien Dreamer with the Cat.
We're inside the willow, listening to the rain, rhyme with the concerto violins, the drooping ease of the weeping streams, and the water tapping on our window. Near the flies of freedom, with a safety too smooth to touch. And a sudden rumble of the clouds moves closer to the memory of the distant death music. Armies of thunder invaded our fortress of tranquility. Between the octaves, we realized it impossible to escape. Time hunts us out. We thought it was behind us.
Having the front seat at the Lizard Tail for the Cat performance is one of the really most incredible experiences of my life. There were people up there just throwing, screaming at the Cat. People trying to claw his shoes.
You're backstage, man. You're backstage. Backstage, you're right.
When I was invited backstage by the Cat, it just really was a grand celebration. Of course, there were beers being drank, but I, of course, had a few.
I was backstage after that. I don't know how I got backstage, but I was back there, and I remember people yelling, "We want the cat, let us in, let us in." The cat didn't know what to do. He didn't want to be bothered, he didn't want to be mean to them. So the woman who owned the place, like, sneaked them out.
How am I doing, man? Cheer for the cat, man.
Yeah, it was great. The audience participation. I mean, they were the Cat's people. They went nuts for him. They were bouncing off the tables, bouncing off the fucking walls.
The greatness! The greatness! At ringside!
We were doing these two bricks, and the Cat was again dominating the stage. And me and the other band musicians, we all looked at each other and said, "Where is he going? Where is he taking us tonight?"
But I'll never live it again. When the wall went down, everything was there. Brilliant. Alive.
Then he turns around to the band and starts telling us to get lower. Then he goes into all this stuff about the Berlin Wall that was going on at the time. He was improvising, we had it planned, but I'll tell you, he had that audience in the palm of his hand.
Recall it. I will never live it again.
He really does know how to attract attention. He knows when it's time to do something, to change his look. He knows when it's time to evolve it and modify it. He has the flair that all performers that you want to look at have. I mean, he knows how to make people look at him. The Cat has a very good fashion sense. He really does.
The Cat was always ahead of his time in dress. I mean, you've heard about the grunge and that whole scene in the early '90s, and I mean, the Cat, he personified the grunge. I mean, as a matter of fact, I think that it was he that first was in Seattle when they created that whole grunge movement. Whenever I think of the grunge, I think of the Cat.
Well, the Cat has a shy, polite aspect to him that Andy Warhol also had. A very shy, polite way about him, and I think they shared that.
Scratched is truly the underground's manifesto. The whole thing is explained by the cover. It says Scratched, collected poems of the Cat. I don't think any advertising campaign could top what that says.
Basically, I felt so humble at that point that the Cat asked me to design a book cover for him. It was like, can I first shine your shoes and lick the soles? What I went ahead, the Cat, of course, had to make modifications to bring it up to his quality, as I naturally understood.
I don't know if people know this, but Scratch was actually 2 works. It was a volume of early stuff and later stuff, and if the interested reader realizes that, you can easily tell which was his earlier stuff and which was his more recent stuff. But when you read them all together, they kind of mix together and you get an image of what the Cat's like.
more time. Come on, gang, go.
With no way out.
Catfest was an historic event. The Cat had assembled a diverse group of entertainment throughout the whole day, a day-long festival, with the Cat coming on just before midnight.
Catfest. It had to be. Everything else was going so incredible. The build-up. We figured, why not just have the ultimate?
Are you sure you'll do your duty?
So we did.
When you put your hand into the goo, a moment before was your best friend's face.
It was a
then
necessity.
You'll know what to do.
Catfest 90 needed to happen.
Catfest, of course, was a classic celebration. Everyone just coming out to enjoy the atmosphere provided by the Cat.
Before there was Lollapalooza, there was a Catfest.
Let's hear the Catfest 90 dancers!
Great voices of freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, the transcendent Cat.
I sometimes prayed to the gods in heaven. When I was 8, I knew not my fate. When I was 9, I killed for what was not mine. Now I'm 10 and I'm in a state I carry my past in a bag. I'm listed among the lost and not to be found. Usually asleep on the cold, lonely ground. In a dark alley, I call cardboard my home. But I'm in no parking zone. Big politician, no scar in your head. Stick to your plan, give me back my shirt. Don't call me son, 'cause I'm sticking to my guns. Take them down, Mikey.
He's, like I said, he's not taught in the traditional sense in any musical instrument. He is an innovator. He's an inventor. He's got things going on in his own head. And when he plays the guitar, what can I say? He caresses the strings with the space cylinder, and it's unearthly. It's so cat-like. It's amazing.
And the guitar became part of him. And you can see the way he performs with it now, that the guitar doesn't dominate him, he dominates the guitar.
We're up there doing If I Were an I. And I just remember at the end, it's kind of a blur to me because I was in this particular emotional state at the time, and I was going, I thought I was going insane in some sort of way. I was being completely overtaken by the moment.
But he's talked about playing two guitars at once, where they're both plugged in, both electric guitars, and it'll like use one as the pick and the other as the guitar itself, and then vice versa, move them around and create sounds.
I played his guitar with the bass, and he played the bass with his guitar, and it was just one of them special moments in music and in culture and in spirituality that I truly will never forget. He invited us to Paris. We went to Paris, but Cat was more interested in just walking around and smelling the place, tasting the air, and delving into the people, and getting lost in the subject.
The Cat.
And he drank too much, and he ate too much, and he slept too much, and he didn't sleep enough, and he read too much, and he fought too much. And he loved it. I think Paris loved him.
Well, when the cat was hanging out in Paris around that time, he was playing a lot of piano. He was doing a lot of piano gigs for people. He'd be at parties. Start playing the piano. Everybody, all the French people that were going crazy. They loved listening to the cat's piano playing.
¿Cómo es que sabe?
Some writing in Paris, but you know the strange thing about I saw his writings from Paris, and you know something, what was interesting about his writings in Paris were that they were not about Paris. He was very objective about his own life on the other side of the Atlantic.
When the Cat returned from Paris, that famous trip that he made in 1992, I believe it was, he was able to really absorb a lot of the poets like Rimbaud and Chouinard and Costebot. He was able to really feel their presence in them, and he went wild with it when he came back. That's called his Frog period. In a lot of his poems was directly related to that really bad case of the French poets.
And the only time Paris or any of that trip appears is in his later writings, when he was reflecting on his trip. And his stuff that he wrote in Paris, to be honest, I don't think was up to snuff. He was kind of on a decline. Maybe it was because it was a physical thing. He lived too hard in Paris.
Like to use the band, Matt on the drums, Bill on the bass, all gone.
He inspires me a lot.
You can wear a Gucci, or you can wear a Glad.
I know that the kid is a genuine poet. He works at his craft. In fact, if you denied him that, he'd die.
You can't really describe the Cat in words. He's more like an aura, a sense.
I cannot tell you that just knowing the Cat gives to me a sense of incredible urgency to try to be a better human being myself.
Everybody, come on.
You know, the Cat will go on, I'm sure, into the millennium. He will be as big then as he is now. I have no doubt that hundreds of years from now, they will be quoting the Cat.
I think his career will last a lifetime. It will evolve, and it will always be with us all in some form or other. He'll always be giving and finding a new way to present and represent what he wants to give.
And now he just became a father, and he's a good father. He's a real good father.
Won't get there any sooner.
Now that's what I call a hat.